Sí. Ujú. ¿Ya? Buenas noches. Bueno, buenas tardes. Me estoy pasando un poco. Sí. Eh, hoy presentamos a Hisao Suzuki en el marco de programa abierto 2022. Actualmente contamos con una exposición anónima Sombras y Luz aquí en el Museo Comarcal de la Garrocha. Y en esta exposición se presenta la donación de Hisao Suzuki, que ha donado a la Fundación
Has
RC.
donated to RCR Foundation, and it has got 46,000 pictures of contemporary images from all over the world, and the fund has also different films and images. The archive of contemporary photography. This exhibition is going to be open till 15th of August. Now we will see. We have this conference, Shadows and Lights, and Hisao Suzuki is going to offer a very calm reality beyond the intensity on documenting. The images are very sensible, looking for light between light and shadow. So it is the magic light, and it appears in the morning. It is deeper, more transparent. Isao Suzuki describes this moment of silence as the precise moment before and after an orchestra plays a melody. The relationship of Hisao Suzuki together with Catalonia began in 1978 after an exhibition of Antonio Gaudí in Yokohama in Japan. He was shocked 4 years later, gets to Barcelona, a city where she stays for good. In this pre-Olympic Barcelona, Hisao Suzuki began his career as an architecture photographer. We have several documents such as the construction, the buildings of Palau Sant Jordi, and also the Catalan modernism. His trajectory made him to be awarded with the Sant Jordi Cross in 2022, awarded by the Generalitat of Catalonia. Now we are going to start with his house conference. Men, thank you so much.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon. Well, it is to me difficult to talk. I like to talk, but to talk about your work, it's very difficult. So I'll try to make my best, and I'll try to convey what I think. It's just an attempt. But let me talk a little bit about myself. After what Andrea has mentioned, I was in an exhibition of gorgeous buildings made by Eco Jose. I think it was in 1975, more or less. And I'm kind of chaotic, but you know, I think it was the beginning of everything. I think that, well, precisely, it's kind of difficult, but I'm trying to talk about these kind of ideas and things. But after that exhibition, I dreamed of coming to Barcelona. I wanted to come, yes or yes, to Barcelona. And after 4 years, I prepared my journey. It was my first journey abroad, and it took me 3 years to get prepared for this journey. So in total, it took me 7 years since I thought to come to Spain, and finally I get to travel to Spain. I remember that it was in August. It was in 1982. The city was full of orange drawings. It was the year of the World Football Championship and the so-called drawing that it was called Naranjito. And the city was packed with this image of Naranjito. And I traveled all around the Sagrada Familia, and I traveled and I walked in Barcelona, and well, 3 months, it was the plan. But in the end, I stayed for 40 years. Next month, I'll be 40 years here in Spain. And now I'm going to show you something very different. I hope that you like pictures. This is the first question. I hope that you like photography. And how do you like photographies? Today, yes, we have, all of us, we have these devices. We have these cell phones. How many pictures you would have? I have 13,000 pictures in my cell phone. 13,000. I think that there are people that have more pictures than myself. And I just selected some of the pictures because 13,000 pictures. Yes, yes, we need many time to show all the pictures. And just showing your pictures, I'm not going to talk about the pictures at all, but I want you to feel something. I want you to feel like background music. So in this case, I'll offer you some background images, and I'm going to share with you how do I work, how do I live in Barcelona, and what happened in the last years. So these images would be like background music that you look to. And sometimes if you see an interesting picture after the uh, presentation, if you remember the image, you can ask me about the image. I'll show you around 800 pictures. Every 3 seconds, we change pictures so you can calculate how long this conference will take. To me, photography, it's like breathing. To me, photography, it's like normal breathing. When I find something, when I do see something, what do I feel about it? What do I sense? What are the emotions that I have? It's like poetry. Yes, I'm writing a poem when I'm making a picture. That's why I like to take pictures. And since these cell phones, everything is great. It's fantastic. Many photographer friends would tell that it's not good to take pictures with a cell phone, but I like to take pictures all day long, at any moment. So I can find an the O of dawn, and I can take a picture capturing the image of the sky. So this is to me like a memory. These are my memories that I'd like to share with you. And naturally, each and every image has its own memory of that specific moment. It is very interesting because an image can capture and memorize very well many things. such as the feelings of an exact moment in time. Sometimes we forgot words, but since I can watch a picture, I can expect and revive and to re-experience what I lived, what I was doing that day, what I did experience, and what came after that day. And I can remember very precisely what happened. I think that it is a very interesting, the power of image. Images are able to strengthen our memories. Well, a week ago, sorry, 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks, maybe 20 days ago, I was in a village in Japan and I was taking pictures. I was there to take pictures, but in reality, I didn't take any picture because, well, the village told me to take pictures of the monuments and the landscape to show the village abroad and to promote different activities that the village was organizing to share with other visitors. Well, I was there. We start reporting and we started filming. It was June. June, it's a rainy month in Japan. The skies are cloud, they are very flat and dull, and suddenly rain can come. And to take a great picture of a landscape, it's not an adequate moment to take pictures. So, as a consequence, we change our mind and we try to look for different locations to take pictures. But, well, it was so tricky, I couldn't take any picture. Sometimes, yeah, you can see the picture, very, very personal pictures. I'm sorry, I had to erase some of the pictures, but anyway, I think that it's kind of interesting the role that the cell phones play today in our daily lives. We can memorize, we can control the images, and when we look to the pictures, we can remember many, many things. We saw restaurants and well, many people they share images when they are having conversations, and through images they go deeper into the memories and they can experience once again the emotions of that day. So images are making us to be closer amongst us. Maybe a decade ago, at the end of September and August, we were all at the terrace, seated around the table, looking the pictures that we had in holidays, that we took for holidays. And now instead of paper, we have the cell phone, right? I'm not trying to sell you the cell phone, but cell phones are so useful. I love cell phones and smartphones. I like to have it with me. Sorry.
Pues continúo lo que estábamos hablando de este pueblo.
All right, let's resume. The idea of the village. In the end, we postponed the photography session to October because the weather was not good enough. So I said that in order to showcase the village, it was not only enough to showcase the monuments and the landscapes. There are many people living there, many people work there, and they make very interesting things in their village. That's why I wanted to add some portraits, like the exhibition we have here next door. And, well, we made some interviews with people, local people in the village, and we learned from them. We knew how they live. We knew about the situation in the village, what they want to do in the future, you know, these kind of things that for 10 days. Well, I made loads of interviews and I felt that I was ready to go back in October to make this documentary. And I didn't want to take a straightforward picture like journalist, like a reporter. I really wanted to get closer to the individuals, to the people in the village. And after the knowledge of the individuals, I would take an adequate atmosphere. I would capture much better in a different season the reality of the landscape. And I will have more time to do it so very, very slowly. And well, I went there to make this work, and suddenly I didn't have any work to do. I only could get prepared, but I really like this way to work. And well, despite not taking pictures, well, I'm so happy to know what will happen in October, and with the information that I got beforehand these days, well, once I'll go to Yoshino, which is a village in Nara province. Nara, it's inside Kyoto region. Well, it's very close to Kyoto. Kyoto, it's in the center of Japan, and a 1 hour and a half from south from Kyoto, you can find Nara. And it was the first Japanese capital in 750. So, and after Nara, we had the second capital, which was Kyoto, and after Kyoto, we had as a capital Tokyo. So, Yoshino was a village that I visited in the last days, and it's very close to the ancient capital Nara, with loads of history. And during the war, the emperor, they escaped to Yoshino to protect themselves, and many, many monks, they went to Yoshino during the war times. And also, we have an amazing story because in 2017, we had the chance to visit together with the RCR architects, the village in Yoshino, because yes, we wanted them to present how our story of wood architecture was in that village, and the origin of the wood. Yoshino, it's in the mountains. It has a 5th century of history, cultivating artificially cedar wood. Cedar wood, it is very important for the village. The material, it's close to the village, and there are loads of craftsmen and workshops that are able to cut and to build beams, to produce architectural structures. And also Yoshino produce sake barrels, and these sake barrels were made by the Yoshino people with cedar produced in Yoshino. RCR visited together the city hall, and I think that it was Ramon Vilalta. He said that why cannot we have a trunk of a cedar to make something in Olot? And immediately the mayor, well, was surprised, and in the end, we got a cedar trunk of 240 years of age. It's quite a heavy and thick trunk, very beautiful trunk, because artificially planted, and it has no, how to say, they don't have branches because it's an artificial trunk, and it only has very straightforward lines. And how can I say, these black dots that you can see, yes, the knots, the wooden, no knots, no knots at all, no wood knots at all. So If you cut this trunk, you have a very clean and neat wood. And this wood that has been planted for more than 5 centuries there, the people there are the protectors of the mountain. Generation after generation, grandparents, fathers, children, they learn a lot in the mountains. They go together with the family members, they go to the mountains, and we also went there. We went to the mountains, and I think that on the 4th of July, today it's the 7th, right? So 3 days ago, on Monday, yes, on Monday, this good, it's now here. It came to life after 5 years. We are so happy because, well, those years we tried to make this wood to travel safe. We were very, very worried due to temperature changes and humidity. You know that wood are very sensitive and very delicate. It can break, it can change colors, and I think that it came here very well. There are some flaws, but the wood is clean enough. And RCR, I think that we'll be able to get this kind of wood. We do not know when, but well, Carmen is telling me that very soon they will get this cedar wood. So in the end, I think that, you know, these are kind of things that can be developed between two peoples, between two villages that are able to be together through architecture, through the production of wood, and through a very similar story that have their own populations. Well, obviously, last time I went to Japan, I witnessed and I was able to see 300-year-old trees very in deep in the forest. We had to walk, and I do wish to be there for a whole night. And I waited for the sun to rise. It would be great to be there in April, because if in April you have the cherry blossom, so you can go there. Well, I'm going back and forward, sorry, in my discourse, but in October, I think that it's going to be the right moment, but my project will continue until April, until next spring, because after August, I'm sure that I'll come back in April for the cherry blossom, because Yoshino Mountains are very well known and they are very famous for the cherry blossoms. I think that all the mountain becomes a white and pinkish mountain due to cherry blossoms, and many people from Japan, they come to visit that mountains. What a pity, because in other periods of the year they do not have many visitors, but in April they have many visitors, and the environment really changes a lot. Sorry for the pictures, because I just stare at the picture and I look. There was a family picture. Well, living with images, right? Living with images. I really like to live with images. I love to live with images. Pictures are useful. The architecture pictures that are very valuable to me, but I do like it. To me, it is more important to take pictures, pictures that will be like documents, that will be useful in the future. So to me, that's the importance that photography has in order to document properly things the way they are without any mistake, offering clarity, capturing the colors, showing real things, and after several years, to share properly the information. And well, now we have also pictures that are different. They are not high quality, but offer to me some feelings and sensations when capturing the images. Well, sometimes I also have a very good pictures and I keep it inside my cell phone and I show to my friends. And this really makes conversations to get started. It's like showing what you have in the cell phone. I'm sure that you do it a lot when you are having lunch or dinner with someone. You like to share your pictures with other people.
Así que, como un poquito, me gustaría que hablar fotografía de antes, no ese.
So I'd like pictures from the past, not the digital pictures. I'd like to talk about the pictures of the past. I began taking culinary pictures. It was typical to use big format pictures. It's 24 by 35 millimeters. It is the original size of the film. And big format, it's 12 by 10 by 12. This is the big format. Usually we talk about 4 by 5 inches. And we also have a bigger, like 13 by 18 or 18 by 24 centimeters, right? They are like films, one by one, inside. The cameras are so big inside the body. We have the lens and we have a box like a dark chamber. We cover the light and we have another point, another side where we put the body and we introduce the films like two discs, A side, B side. And this allows to make only two shots. This was normal in the past. We can take like, we put it inside the frame and you need to think how many pictures you will take today. What will be the buildings that you want to photograph and how many pictures do you want to take to show the building to the people. So you need to think and to get ready. And each and every chassis and a frame, it's heavy. And from 24 frames, it's very, very difficult to keep on working with the building. If it's a big building, it's very heavy. The camera is also heavy. And but it's a very physical job. It's like a sport. So first of all, you have to calculate. You need to prepare the films, and you physically need to take things and minimally 30 kilos. And once you have a long journey, your car has more than 100 kilos of luggage. You need the camera, you need the other devices, you need the films to exchange. Usually, well, you only have 10 films and you need to put it in boxes and boxes and boxes, and you need to carry everything, and it's very, very heavy. And you have like 5 days of journey, and how can you put order to everything? by days, by buildings, by motifs or topics, and each and every picture has to get all the data that will share how did you take the picture, and you have to indicate to the lab how to reveal the film. Now with a digital camera, you can introduce, you push the button and you have everything. You have the data, you have also the GPS locator and everything, right? But now it's in the past it was very difficult, and you have to get register everything. So, and how to convey the word into an image. Let's say the frame is 108. This is a frontal picture from the main facade, and it was taken by that time, this hour. This film can be revealed, and you know what it has inside. Usually you have frame A and B, and you can shoot, and in the same picture you have A and B. A side for the lab, it is to reveal, and you can see it's dark, clear, and you can reveal the picture. So when you take pictures with a film, it's very different from the tiny film rolls. Very difficult and very different as when compared with today. You can prepare and you can imagine. You must, let's say, think different ways before you take the shot. And you need to know the building where you are taking the picture, and also the city, and you're always very attentive. You need to take control of time and the weather. Those days with my photographer's team, we went early in the morning to take the picture of the village, to see the morning light and how we took the pictures of the landscape. So these things, they have an influence on everything. But now, well, it's very easy because the pictures are digital. But through digital, you can make many things. Because in the past, when you needed a film and a frames, we couldn't take great pictures. So once I took black and white pictures, the photographer had to develop himself the picture and the films and to make copies. But if you use a color, we are quite far from the perfection of the image, because it was very limited to control color, brightness. It was very limited. It was very complicated by the time to take color pictures. As the digital system began, as we came back to that day when we used black and white pictures, till we were able to perfection the image that we wanted. And naturally, we as photographers, we want to know what will be the final image. We know that when we'll take a picture, it's not going to be perfect. Now, we have a format that really allows many things, and we can reveal the pictures very adequately. Since you shoot the picture, the time you shoot the picture, how you shoot the picture, how it has to be, and what's the purpose? Is it going to be in a book? Is it going to be in a poster? Is it going to be used to other things? And lately, as the things have progressed a lot, Like a Photoshop, we can correct very well. We can get the real color in a very easy manner.
Ahora que no debe que
I do feel that we don't have to forget the days when we suffered, when we didn't take exactly the color, we are not able to capture the color. It was like a pollution of a color that gets inside another color. I don't know, but here you can see very well. If we take a picture of a white uh, wall, if there is in front a tree with loads of leaves, the wall is going to get green reflections and it's going to be polluted a lot by green colors. We need to feel these things. What is natural? The polluted wall, it's natural, or white and white, is it natural? Is it normal? Is it real? We do not know. Thus, we need to decide now what is the point that we need to detect. The reality is what we got. We erase, we leave the things the way they are, we do correct. There are many, many magazines, fantastic magazines, very well presented with real colors, and it seems that 100% real. But reality, where is it? I am really interested. I want to know how world will change in the future. Is it going to be completely corrected? Do we trust enough our eyes and feelings? Because walls that have a tree are yellow or green. If you observe when the light is very strong, next to the light, we can see the reflections of the light that have other different colors. When we have a bricks that show the reddish colors, next to this the white marble together with the mixture of colors. So these things we must be, we need to take into account. We need to rethink once again. We need to know what is real, what is true, what is not true, what is real, what is unreal. So these are the ideas that I want to share with you for you to think. I don't know if you realize, but I love this color, the greenish color, the previous one. Where it skipped. It's like an image that flies. It's an image to forget. Like in this digital world, right? So we are introducing, it's coming back. So it's like music. It's like listening but being deaf. You look but you are blind. So each and every picture has a lot of memory. But for a third person, it's like something that it's not important. It's like something that happens here. But to me, there is a long period of time. But for you, it's only 40 minutes of images that appears and disappears, right? So I wanted to try with you this experience, taking advantage of this conference. I think that you can make always in your cell phone slideshows, more primitive, more private, more, you can make many, many things. This is a picture that I took many years ago. It was taken by a member of our workshop.
Pues así un poquito, poco a poco,
So
cambiamos tema. Que,
let's change
hemos hecho
topics now.
un vídeo
We
general
have a video that it
sobre
was made in 2019. The video is called Novorina. It is a documentary that was made by RCR in Japan. So in reality, this idea appeared after the Toto Gallery exhibition, and in order to prepare, it was not in 19, it was in 17, 2017, yes, 2017. So for the exhibition, before the exhibition, you had to know Japan and to know what we had to do. And we traveled all around Japan. We traveled together to Japan, and we produced this a document, like a video. And we went to Yoshino, as we said before. We said how Yoshino is and the landscape of Yoshino, and also this cedar that it was 350 years old. And the carpenter of the village prepared the cedar, and we were together and we made a video. Well, the pictures are still going on, and little by little you will see the video. I really like the video because who am I? Well, I'm just an individual that wanted to watch this video again, a video that for many years ago I didn't watch it, and to remember that video, and to share with you this document for the next days. Well, this is the video name, Noborina. Let's go for it.
Una síntesi formulada amb què barreja anhels i experiències, intuïcions, somnis i, per sobre de tot, l'impuls inspirador de la vila, amb la descoberta de les seves boires, d'aigües, el bosc, la vegetació, les ruïnes, els espais, els llibres, la història, els relats i un indret significat amb els esperits latents.
Aquesta mania de tocar, no? De remenar.
A casa meva, imagina't, mira que tinc branques que són perilloses, però és que posat a posar, és algo...
És que...
Perquè això ha sortit ara d'aquí.
Això ho emmarques per aquestes cases.
N'hi ha més d'un.
Són 3. Un que continua. No, un llac de Banyola. El damunt que tu deies, veus? I l'altre... Que posi les fustes, ja va bé. Si em vols donar la qualitat, que no sembla que era si desveies això.
Aquí, esclar, a vegades venen els pobles productes naturals de Japó.
Seria més fàcil després d'anar trobant totes les 10 aquestes.
Sí, és que segurament aquesta de còbula, de no sé
totes
estaven a la mateixa porta. I això per mi és el que és excepcional d'aquí, perquè totes aquestes d'aquí, aquesta, i totes les altres, no queda tan suelto. És que és molt potent, jo per això dic que és molt femení, perquè és com, saps, o sigui, tota aquesta terra d'aquí que ve de Sant Joan, per mi aboca l'aigua aquí. Estar continuamente aprendiendo.
No.
Nos gusta esta sensación. No sé, val, està bé. No està pas malament aquesta conversa. Però, esclar, s'ha d'elaborar.
No, el que és més és perquè...
O sigui, aquí s'haurà de pensar si es vol tenir en un mateix pla, si es vol solapar, perquè també permetria solapar.
No, jo crec que està bé que siguin mans, encara que es vinculin com grups.
Sí, però van a sandwichar,
Gener, febrer, març. Surt d'aquí i se'n va cap a Venècia. És que tenim un pavelló. Tenim un pavelló per nosaltres sols. Un pavelló de Catalunya.
15年ぐらい前。
次ここに植えるのはいつぐらい？
次はね、もうここが全部切る時ですね。整備して、で、植えとるから、これ大体まあ45年ぐらいになるわけですね。
はい。
Cuando
cortas, hasta que recupere la tierra, necesita 40 años.
で、それを検算してるのが中井。
はい。
だから、それぞれこの山を検算見に来た時には。
Es que él decía antes que le encantaba.
で、引っ張り上げる。
Viene, hay carretera, hay camino. Entonces se lleva.
Porque es mucho, hermano. Es muy ancho. Y aquella está muy
Entonces aquí no se parte.
こことかで取れば、重さの違いの分だけこっちが強い。
14、15万円、6万円か7万円、8万円か9、20万か21万円、2万円、3万円か5万円、7万円か7。Jo.
Així és obligat. Però encara tu refreus, segons com...
No, jo estic a mira.
No, per aquest punt d'atenció està bé.
Veuries per sobre.
Està bé.
No, jo no.
Encara no, llavors tampoc no.
No, aquest punt just està bé, això està més bé. Perquè sota...
Això quasi és... Això és el que m'has buscat, però si fa els 35, quasi tens 35, si dius que fa 2,20 de mort. Però molt.
どうもありがとう。その構造はこの辺でとは、
Aquesta textura, jo crec, no? Que podrà texturar justament.
También está colisionando con aquí. Sí, sí, sí.
I a mi el que m'agrada és la fragilitat, no? De què?
This is 600 gram.
600
26 何グラム
Si n'agafes 10 fulls, sí, té un puntet.
Perquè aquest té una mica de barro.
No m'agrada molt, això.
Bueno, sí, però...
Perquè ho ha dit, perquè ha dit que això té una mica de fang. Però jo crec que fa aquest sentit. Ja està penjat per mirar. I en canvi això està per tu, per fer-te costar. Canvia molt la percepció, no? Quan estàs aquí ja és com per tu. És maco, sí, a mi també m'agrada. O mantens dret o poetic?
Vale, ho veig bé. Ho veig bé.
Després de tindrà que seleccionar hi ha uns col·laboradors diferents.
Sí.
Vull dir, això és una cosa que ja ho anireu valorant. Però de preparar-los per pensar s'hauria de fer aquí.
Sí, sí. Aquesta sala no m'ha de
Muchas gracias. Aquí, bueno, Julia.
Thank you very much. You know, this movie that we made together, the two of us, Julia de Bayet and Guillem, please, can you stand up and introduce yourself, please, Julia?
Así, ahora, así con este acabamos.
Now we close with this movie, but this video, it's going to continue, and I hope that we will have Nivolina too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Sí.
Bueno, ahora tenéis
And now you have time to ask questions from the audience to Hisao. No questions.
¿Alguien se atreve?
Who dares to ask a question?
¿Ninguna pregunta?
No questions. Oh, anything you want to share?
No sé si no queréis preguntar
Well,
nada.
if you don't want to ask anything, I like to thank you very much, Hisao, because you allowed us to get into your intimacy. What a beautiful thing to share with you, and how we together, all along these years, we were with you inside your intimacy. Once I saw a picture, the memories, and we lived, and we remember many, many great times and amazing moments. Such a beautiful moment to us. Thank you very much, and congratulations for the St. George the Cross. You really deserve this cross and this recognition. We feel very proud. That's all. We want to continue working with you, making projects real. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a question for you.
Yes.
We know that Japan is a country where the shadow is more present than in a lot of places in the world. Did that influence in some kind of way your work, where maybe you see really the difference between light and shadow? Not as you know, like in architecture, we really can feel the difference, you know, between those two notions. And I wanted to know if the depth in the shadow really played a role for your picture. Arigato.
Yes. In Japan, we speak very much about shadow, naturally light, about light too. But reality, in the air, Japan is very humidity. Light is very, very soft. And the coming very, very, how to say, low light, but coming for deep inside. No? I think you say about how to say elogio de sombra. Así que, perdón, en inglés.
Sí. En español y te... Puedes seguir en...
In place. Perdón. In place.
I'm sorry. You know the essay, the In Place of the Shadows? Do you know the essay? In Place of Shadows?
No, it was in the place of the shadows.
Do you know In the Place of the Shadows? The essay?
Actually, I'm thinking about shadow always because before I was very interested about light, but light maybe really we can't see. We are looking always shadow, white shadow or black shadow or deep black shadow, but naturally we can't light. We are looking always something light making. We are looking shadow making light. It's white or black, I don't know, or yellow, or sometimes it's dust. Sometimes we are looking light, line of the light, but it's not light. It's line of dust. Light, I think light never we can see. Now I'm thinking every day and very interesting about shadow because I think I was very mistake because always thinking about light, but not light. We are looking always something, reflection, light, or shadow. In the architecture too, we light, but light fair come from. Light fair come from, or how to say, a little bit difficult over here, but we want to know light is, what is light? Looking light or looking shadow or touching light or touching shadow or many things. I'm in the way now. How we can put shadow or light or no, it's very difficult now, but bueno. Así que me parece que estoy todavía camino.
So I think that on my way, and suddenly it came to my mind that the light and shadows, what are the most relevant elements and what really represents the most, the light or shadows. Many times we talk about light, but sometimes, or maybe, we are always looking the shadows, because in reality we cannot see light. What we look at are things reflected through light. Sometimes here we look that these light bulbs are burning, but we can see the two lines that are producing a light, but we are looking the light? No, we are looking the reflection of the light. That's why we need to go deeper and to research much more. We look, but the light is not here. The light is reflecting here and there, these bottles. The light is produced there. There we have the light production, but we look at the shadows that are produced through light. I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know. But this is kind of a very interesting topic that we need to develop and to think further. Well, okay. Yeah? Well, I swept into Spanish. Sorry. Yes? All right?
For Tom's question, yeah, I'm always thinking about the lights and shadows and why is that is so important. And today you showed so many images that impressed me a lot. And so I just read some text. I'm thinking about why the shadows is so important. Like I have some I have some thought like that. I'm thinking the light that is the energy, and it brings possibilities for a different kind of lives in the universe. And yeah, but we are people. We can only feel the shadows because the night is everything. But for a nature, for a life, or for a kind of some things, it's only part of everything. It's kind of like like we look at the whole things, everything. If without light we can't feel anything, but if it's have the light, then can feel different kind of shadows. But the shadows is not the only shadows. It's about the shadows of that thing, a shadow of tree, a shadows of plants, the shadows of human being. Yeah, and I'm still thinking the color. I'm thinking even the color is kind of shadows because the white night, if we lose like the red, then we get the green. If we lose yellow, then we get blue. It's kind of the color is kind of the shadow of the light. So it's not the shadows that are important. I'm thinking it's the shadows present lives, because the human beings only can feel things, feel nature, feel other people. Yeah, and if we can feel so many live things, then we feel happy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe my answer for Tom's question. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, me too. Yo también, que me parece que por ahí, ¿no? Es tema que...
Yes, me too. And everything is presented through light, but maybe it is turning into shadow. That's why we look the shadows. Though we feel and we can introduce joy, happiness, and we get joy and happiness through colors and through shadows as well. But the light has loads of energy outside, right? And always, always together with the shadows. Otherwise, it's nonsense. Shadows are the ones that make things possible. Shadows are the element that offer us the possibility to be here and there in this present moment in time. So it is always very difficult when we talk about lights and shadows. We talk a lot about lights and shadows, but we are always looking for an answer. When are we having an answer? Well, we don't know. Each and every one of us, inside of ourselves, we have the meaning inside of us. And if we translate it into words, sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes it's easier to me to have an image and to make this image to get outside, and through an image to have an answer. What you said, it's brilliant. I do agree with you. So I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you.
Bueno, yo creo que ahora algunas ideas hemos tenido ahora.
Well, I think that now we had several ideas, and well, you wanted to talk about the lights and the shadows and everything that we shared amongst us. We can stop here if you don't mind, okay? Okay, right. Let's carry on talking after closing this session and to share what do we think amongst us. And see you next week. See you next week. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. We'll have more conferences and speeches next week. Thank you.